Do you like fantasy football and sports betting? Come join us here at the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, where hosts Matt, Shane, and Jason talk about fantasy players, lineups, and sports betting to help you compete and win championships. And of course, some extra cash. Let's jump right into the show.
Welcome back to another episode of the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. It is your host, Matt, here, of course, joined by my two lovely co-hosts, Shane and Jason. How are you guys doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic, sir. You look beautiful as usual. Jason, the colors you're wearing are hideous, but other than that, I'm fantastic.
Hey, whenever your team barely wins just by luck and penalties all over the place, and whenever Matt's team goes 3-1 just for some dumb luck, it's okay. Hey,
Listen,
we know who in the AFC is the next contenders. So hey,
Jason, listen, Jason. Shane loves taking shots at Jason. Jason just took a shot at me. I didn't even do anything. I didn't even say nothing to you, okay? Don't be taking shots at me.
You did in our betting episode.
Yeah, well, I had to because you always take shots at my NFL record, so I had to give it back to you. Yeah, you. Yes, you, son. All right, guys. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Before we jump into it, today is the fantasy episode of the podcast. We'll go over news and notes. We'll go over some fire and ice, and we're just going to recap the matchups. We'll go through them quick. I guess not recap them. We're going to go through this week's matchups and who we like and who we don't like. Skim through the games fairly fast like we do every single week. We're here to help you guys out, help you guys win your championships, give you guys our advice, our takes on it. So before we jump into it, though, guys, if you want to check out the social medias, you can find Shane at Shane Parlay FF. You can find myself at Matt_Parlay FF. And you can find Jason at Jason Parlay FF on the old X machine. Head on over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Click that little follow button for the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. It really does help us out. Leave us a 5-star review, guys. It's very easy, very simple, and it really does help us out. We're here to help you, so help us help you. Jason, what's up?
Do you want me to go over the hot or not that we had last week? We had 3 players on each side.
I think Shane has it wrote down.
Yeah, we had 4 on each side, Jason.
We had 4? Okay. Even better.
But then also, guys, head over to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube page. It's where we are recording all the video side of it. Click that follow, subscribe button. Click the thumbs up button. It does help the show out. It helps us. It helps Fantasy Six Pack. Head over to fantasysixpack.net. Get your all access membership today. It's a one-time fee. There is tons of information, lots of knowledgeable people. And as well with that, then you can head over to the Discord channel where there is hundreds of people, thousands of people involved over there. Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but we are all here to help you guys out. If you guys have a question, it is answered extremely fast. So go over there, get your all access membership, guys. One-time fee, and it will help you out, man. Shane, is this a discount code Parlay for 15% off, right?
Correct. Use code Parlay. It helps the guys know where you came from. And yeah, it's to sign up. It's 15% off. Their year-long package is $84. So it bumps the price down to, I did the math earlier and I closed my calculator. It's like 72 instead. So
yeah.
And they cover 6 sports. So if you are a multiple sport fan, it's perfect.
Yeah. Lots of information and lots of knowledgeable people over there, guys. It does help us out. We would appreciate it if you partook in that. And of course, on the audio side, just get involved with us. We'll answer any questions. We'll talk about stuff on the podcast if you guys want. If you want to be a guest on the show, man, reach out. We are more than willing to take some guests on here, and you guys can hop on and be a part of our show for a week. We would really love that. Maybe we ought to do some kind of giveaway at some point. Do a little giveaway action for a lucky fan or subscriber that wants to reach out and be a part of us, I mean, I'm saying, Shane, right? We ought to do something like that, right?
We have done that once before, and it was a blast. So would love to do that again with the new team here. And we can definitely make that happen.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so let's jump into the show. Shane, why don't you go over some news and notes?
Perfect. Although I literally just minimized that tab, Matt, because you made me go off on a tangent of thoughts. All righty. So here we go. Your news and notes in alphabetical order. Bears, Tevin Jenkins, starting off as a lineman, did not return to the Rams, is considered day-to-day, not week-to-week. Remember, day-to-day means there's a possibility. Week-to-week means he's not coming back for quite some time, most likely. Trey Hendrickson, we talked about the Ravens a lot last episode, but the Bengals, Trey Hendrickson, neck injury, does not look like he may play this week. Did not suffer any nerve damage, but is, quoted as week to week. Josh Allen, sore. That's what was on the injury report. I didn't make that up. Hysterical. Hysterical. They put him on as sore like that. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Probably. Tyler Batty had that was a scary
Very
scene.
scary.
From the Jets and Broncos game. And he has reported full movement in arms and legs and is now back in Denver. So he actually took the team flight back. So that's great news. Hopefully. Also, it's not Batty, it's Bidet. Yeah.
Bidet.
I keep saying Batty.
Bidet.
It's Batty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It's Batty. Nick Chubb opened the practice window this week. So big news for the Brownies. And David Njoku, also considered day-to-day now, not week-to-week. So he is moving up the progress board. We will see what happens there. Keep an eye on the practice report because, it matters on this one. Trey Palmer got concussed, which is unfortunate for Trey Palmer. He was playing for Jalen McMillan, who was also concussed, and neither one of them practiced on Monday. So love it. That time of the season. And then Mike Evans, knee calf, did not practice on Monday on their estimated. He wouldn't have practiced. They didn't have practice, but he wouldn't have practiced type thing. And then he was at practice today, but did only walk through.
Do they have the Thursday game this week?
No, the Thursday game. Matt, do you have that up right now?
I do.
Thursday
game.
game.
Oh, it is the Buccaneers.
They are the Thursday game. Sorry, I said no, Jason, but I was wrong.
That's what I thought I saw.
Rashee Rice, the big talk of the town, feared to have suffered a torn ACL. Put upon further tests, it's uncertain. I did see reports today from Chiefs media that pointed towards it being a hyperextension and bone bruise, leading to about a 4-week absence and not an ACL tear or MCL tear.
That'd be huge.
That's crazy. That's crazy because you would think that news would already be out after a day or two MRI, and it's still uncertain. So I think it's good news.
Yeah, or he's going to be playing on a torn ACL and not telling anybody.
Yeah, guys, don't tell anybody.
Players have done that in the past. Speaking of crazy injuries and bad luck, Anthony Richardson again on the injury report, considered day-to-day with a hip pointer, oblique strain, and abdominal strain. And Jonathan Taylor's ankles always be sprained.
Click clack, baby, click clack.
Has a mild high ankle sprain. There is a solid chance he plays this week, and Anthony Richardson is a questionable to play this week.
They have a better chance of winning with Joe Flacco.
Possibly. Christian Watson expected to be out for at least a week or so per Matt LaFleur. So our sadness for Watson stands out there. And let's see, Taysom Hill, your tight end 7 this past week, hurt his abs again. And so he is probably not playing this week. Willie Gay also hurt his hand and will not play this week. Russell Wilson is back, but Justin Fields is still a starter. Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence may miss this upcoming game. Micah Parsons has a low-grade ankle sprain, and DeMarcus Lawrence hurt his foot and is expected to miss at least 4 weeks, being placed on the IR. Tua, some good news, symptom-free. So his expected return, if he so chooses, is week 8. And 3 more updates. We're going to do these quick. Bijan Robinson injured his hammy. He is questionable to play for Thursday night. Will Levis hurt his shoulder. If he's healthy, they will play him, Bill Callahan says. And Christian McCaffrey, not 1, but 2 doses of Achilles tendonitis. I think that CMC just may be too damn strong.
He might be out for the year.
Could be.
It's looking very, very possible. Jordan Mason's stock shares will have fully exploded.
Explosion of Jordan Mason.
So he could probably only return at week 16. Is that right, Shane? 4 weeks absence. And
CMC, there is no timeline for a return at this point.
But IR, you have to be out for at least 4 weeks.
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
So week 16, maybe.
No, he's been
on the IR. So
yeah.
he could return this week if he wanted to.
Oh, I thought you had to go like 4 consecutive weeks, even if you pass the 4-week mark. So you can just
you can just declare you're ready to play whenever.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
Love the NFL and its intricate rules. And that does it for your news and notes.
Yeah, it's if you're a fantasy manager out there, man, you need to follow along with the news and notes. Hopefully, if you're dedicated and serious about it, it's something definitely to keep your eye on and check multiple sources. That's the big thing, especially like if you're coming off a loss or a win and you need to pick up someone from the waiver wire. Check other teams, make some trades, check multiple sources because there are tidbits of other news from different sources that you might want to pay attention to.
Oh, I did forget to log 1 more, actually 2 more. OBJ practice window officially open. He's not just cashing a bag and setting on the bench. And then Davante Adams has requested a trade officially.
Yeah.
That was the new.
I thought you were going to go there.
I need to go back there.
Yeah, he's they can't afford him.
When your head coach likes a tweet about you no longer playing for the organization, and then you don't talk to said head coach within like hours or minutes, yeah, that's a problem. And on Up and Adams today, he said he hadn't talked to Pierce yet.
Yeah.
And Kay was like, what? So
that sucks for them that they can't even get him the football.
Yeah, he needs to go. A couple years left on his contract. He needs to go to a team that has potential. That's what he wants. Yeah, that's what he wants.
Chiefs, I'm calling it right now.
No, they won't trade in division. They hate us too much.
Yeah. The Jets is a very likely scenario.
Yeah, that's where he wants to be anyways. All right. Now, folks, I believe it's time for Fire and Ice.
It's Fire and Ice time, boys. I've got a list of players. I'm going to say their names, and you guys tell me if you think they're fire or ice. These are players that I went on the old Twitter sphere, X machine, wherever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. And people have questions about these players. So I'm going to list them, and you guys tell me. First player is a running back, which it kind of bewilders me that his name was on this list, but it's James Cook of the Buffalo Bills. Fire or ice?
Fire or
I'll go
ice,
first.
James Cook.
And we will do it. We will do it for like this week. Okay. Like the opponent that they're playing.
Okay. I actually agree with you, Shane. For some odd reason, are we icing him, right?
He is playing at the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Texans are really bad against the run, brother.
Did you not say ice?
No,
he
I
did
was
say ice.
repeating the question because I was unsure of how to approach said situation.
Do we all have to agree on this right here?
No, this is
No.
just.
Just two out of
What
three?
do you think? What do you think of his outlook for this week? That's what people want to know.
I think he gets 80 yards and possibly a TD.
So that would put him in a fire category.
Yeah,
Okay.
depending on if he gets a TD or not, because he ain't gonna catch a ball in the backfield. So I yes, I'm leaning fire. Unfortunately,
Why? Unfortunately,
Because it's
you're
playing
playing him
his
this week?
team. He's playing the Texans.
Okay. No, that checks out. That checks out. I was like, why is it unfortunate? I'm confusion. I'm gonna lean to saying. I'm going to lean to saying fire. The Texans have really, really, really struggled against the run. And thus, yeah, I think that it makes sense that they would be, leaning on that part of the Bills game, especially off of a rough loss.
Yeah, I agree with both you guys. I lean towards the fire side. James Cook has been a fire most weeks so far of this NFL season. Last week against the Ravens, didn't play very well, but neither did the Bills, right? The Ravens have an extremely good defense. Actually, I think they are the number one rushing defense in the league through 4 weeks. I'm going to lean towards fire here because the Bills are going to be pissed. And I said it last week. The Bills have a tough 3 games ahead of them prior to the Ravens game. This is another tough game. If they want to be a championship caliber team, they need to show the world that they can win these matchups. They didn't win against the Ravens. We'll see what they do this week against the Texans. Jason, what you got?
yeah. The only point that I really want to say is I think with D'Amico Ryans in that defense, we will challenge Josh Allen to beat us by himself and throw the football. I think we might stack the box, which is the only thing I was just thinking about with putting him on ice and letting Josh Allen throw the football and beat us in the secondary because we have a good secondary.
I mean, you make a good point. We'll see what happens, but I think
exactly.
all three of
That's
us
the only
lean
thing.
towards
But I think he's fire. I'm firing up. Yeah.
Next player, BTJ. Brian Thomas Jr. of the Jacksonville Jaguars, rookie wide receiver. They played the Indianapolis Colts this week at home. What do you think? Fire him up?
Yeah. So fun fact, the Colts have given up the most fantasy points to wide receivers this year. I'm firing up BTJ.
Did you not see what Nico Collins did to the Colts?
Yeah.
It was like, no, we're firing him up.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards fire as well. BTJ has proven that he is an excellent receiver, a good rookie wide receiver. Yeah, he's fire. He's fire, in my opinion. I do not hesitate to fire him up, especially against this Colts team, even though they did just play well. I guess they played decent against the Steelers. They ended up winning, but
he's a coverage nightmare.
Yeah.
He truly does look like a coverage nightmare right now, which is awesome.
100%. We kind of alluded to it just a second ago. People are asking all sorts of questions about Jordan Mason. Is this 49ers team going to turn into more of an air raid team? I think Jordan Mason is another player that's on that fire list. You have to start him. He's a starting running back, right?
Yeah, and they're playing the Cardinals, who just got absolutely torched by Brian Robinson, and they don't have talent on the edge, and that's typically where the Niners attack with their running game. So, yeah, Jordan Mason is a fire. He's a buy candidate for me if I can.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a low-end fire for me. I think it's I mean, if you heard the betting episode, I'm big on the Cardinals this week. I think it's a letdown week for the Niners. the interior 7 for the Cardinals is a little weak, but at the same time, I think they're going to step it up. Don't know how that's going to go with Mason. You got to hope for a TD this week from him. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I wouldn't fire him up, but if you drafted CMC and you have him, you're definitely starting him.
Yeah. Agree. All right, next one, guys. Tricky one here. The next two names are two of the biggest names that are being talked about right now, at least from what I see. Mark Andrews. Mark freaking Andrews.
Look, I gave this advice last week. I will reiterate it. Bench Andrews if you have a viable option. If not, you pray for a boom week. And if you get said boom week, trade him away.
Look at Jason.
That's it. And I know Jason has Andrews all over the place, so that's why he's so sad. So I'll just use Jason's time here and say that's your best hope at this point is that Andrews pops off 1 week. People maybe buy in, think it's old Andrews, and you can move off.
Here's my take.
Or you buy now and you hope that you get the boom week.
Here's my take. Make it quick. Andrews is still an integral part of this offense. You can tell that. I don't know what the dynamic is, what's going on with him and Lamar Jackson not getting targets. Mark Andrews dropped a wide open pass. Now, granted, it was just the one, but
that was bad.
I mean, he's on the field for like 90% of snaps.
Sometimes,
I guess that's accurate. That's accurate.
He was 33% of the snaps 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Like, I'm not saying I agree with you, Shane. I'm benching Mark Andrews because there are all kinds of tight ends that you can get on the waiver wire that's going to score you at least a point, which is more than what Mark Andrews scored last week. 0.
Wait, do we show the graphic?
Oh, yeah. Let's throw it up right now. Let's throw it up. We talked about this last week.
Shane, we did, and I told you guys that we would make the graphic. Here is your current layout of the landscape. I know that it's really small. I'm sorry. MPJ scored 17.7 fantasy points and ranked as wide receiver 19. Mark Andrews scored 0, and he tied for tight end 45.
0.
Yeah, that is. It's
Look
rough.
at my guy.
We'll keep track of this. Look, MPJ is big on the screen for a reason.
Look at that.
He's just Andrews human being on there.
Quick question: Would you rather start Noah Fant, Otten over Andrews right now?
Yes, both.
Yes,
both.
Zach Ertz.
Yes.
Okay.
Tucker Kraft, 1,000%.
Yeah, those are the waiver wire pickups right now.
Tucker Kraft is the waiver wire pickup.
Yeah,
Tucker Kraft. Okay,
Tucker Kraft. Yes,
but not in our Yahoo league.
Big
The
yes.
1 week I don't start him, he's going to score.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's what you're backing into right now. That's what I keep saying. Like you either play him and you hope he has the boom week, or you set him and you
listen. Jason, we told people to sit DeAndre Swift and Michael Pittman Jr. last week. I'm pretty sure every analyst told everybody to sit those two players, and look what happened. So you can't be mad. You got to celebrate when that happens. Like it was the right play. It was the right move because those two players were just detriments to your team. And you can't be mad about it.
And I still beat you in fantasy with him scoring 0.
Jason, I lost pretty much everywhere last week. Okay. All right. Shut your mouth. Let's keep going.
Fade Matt is what I'm hearing. Anyway.
Let's go. I've got 2 more players, and then we'll get into matchups so we don't take forever on the podcast. The other one is another tight end, guys. Kyle Pitts. Because I believe he put up a 0 as well last week. Oh, yeah, he did because he was on my roster.
I'm in pain.
Is this another one of those guys? I think he's a little better off than Mark Andrews sits right now, but what do you think as far as
his route participation's there, his snap share is there. I don't know what's going on in Atlanta. Is it a disease because Tyler Algier also was relevant this week and Bijan was not? So, like, is there something in the water in the Falcons facility that causes these coaches to not utilize some of their best assets? But yeah, like what the is going on? Maybe Kyle Pitts, you have to start him because he's in a significantly better situation than Andrews is.
But what would you tell people here? Fire or ice?
They're
That's
playing
the
the
real
Bucks.
question.
They're playing the Bucks. Bucks secondary is trash right now. I'm gonna say fire.
I'm going to lean towards with you, Shane. I'm going to lean towards with you. They need to find a way to get him going. It's going to happen some week. You got to just.
Darnell Mooney is just sucking up all of the targets. That's the biggest thing. Like
he is.
Yeah.
Who would have thought Darnell freaking Mooney?
Shane called it early season.
He
This
did,
guy?
but it's one of those things where you put the safety over the top of London and you put 8 in the box for Bijan. Then
Or Tyler Algier.
Yeah, and Pitts can't get open. So you go to Darnell Mooney.
He's getting open.
Hey, I agree with y'all. Pitts, fire him up. I think he has a great week this week.
Yeah. Okay.
Over
Last
10
one
points.
here. Last one here that we've been getting a lot of questions about is Josh Jacobs. Running back, Green Bay Packers playing the Los Angeles Rams this weekend. What do you guys think here?
How many touches did Jacobs get last week?
We can look that up.
I will look that up. Jason, you answer.
Me with Jacobs, he is a dynamic player whenever the Packers have the lead. Last week, they did not get the lead, and they had to come from behind and use Jordan Love's ability. This week versus the Rams, I think they do have the lead. It's a close game, and at the end of the game, he will get his touches, and he will get his yards. I like Jacobs to score a touchdown this week. I will fire him up, actually.
Yeah, I'm on board with Jason. The only reason I mentioned the touches is because seemingly when he has a large workload the week prior, the Packers tried to give him the next week off. He only had a combined 15 touches last week, which is the same as he had the week prior. So,
but they got down early.
They did. He had 6 catches for 27 yards. So, like, he is still very playable. He still, got 11 points, and you drafted him early. I think that this is a fire situation because I think that they could absolutely beat up on this very decimated Rams unit.
Yeah, I'm with you guys too. When you get in that landscape of starting running backs that carry at least the bulk of the load, depending on game script, I think last week it had something to do with a little bit of game script. It is positivity seeing 4 receptions from a starting running back, but he's one of their best players on offense. They're going to give him the ball. You're going to start him.
We do have a question from Kyle Senra. He commented on our last video. I told him we would tackle it today. So, if you had to rank these 4 quarterbacks with how you would sit them or start them, where would you rank them? Anthony Richardson, Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith. Give them in an order 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hold on, say that again. Baker, Geno,
Derek Carr, Anthony Richardson.
In my opinion, if I had to rank them right now, I'm going Geno, Derek Carr, or Geno, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, Anthony Richardson. That's how I would rank those 4 right now. Last week he threw the ball for his last game, he threw the ball 52 times.
Yeah.
I mean,
it out and ran the ball too as well.
Yeah.
Which is something we haven't seen from him recently. I'm actually going to go Baker
first,
Geno, AR, Derek Carr.
Okay.
And the reason I'm ranking Carr lower at this moment is the Saints' interior offensive line is so hurt that's the reason you've seen a dramatic drop-off in Baker's production, or not Baker, in Carr's production thus far, because they're so hurt. The O-line is not giving him time to do what they were doing early on in the season. So until that O-line gets healthy, Carr is moving significantly down my ranks. And once that health comes back, then he'll obviously pop over AR unless we see something super fantastic from AR at this point.
Jason?
He's
I'm
scribbling
back and
over there. I
forth
see
on
it.
Baker and
He's
Geno
cooking.
right now. Baker and Geno are the 1 and 2 punch.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
1-2.
gonna give it to my boy. Give me Baker 1. Give me Geno 2. Give me Derek Carr 3 and AR 4. AR, I need to see you hit a pass under 20 yards and hit a receiver in the chest. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen consistency from him. Baker revamped. He's in his game right now, in his bag. He's got the weapons. I think they have the scheme that fits him. Geno balled out last night. I think that was the best loss that you can have as a team last night.
Oh, it was a fantastic
Yeah, they
game.
look good.
Then Derek Carr,
Fantastic.
I mean, it is what it is. You can't trust him.
Yeah, it's just one of those. Hopefully, you hit on the week he goes off, and he's not in your starting lineup.
Again, I think it completely comes down to the health of his O-line at this point. If he's
Yeah.
clean in a clean pocket, Carr is an adequate quarterback, and he has very good weapons.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. All right, guys. That's it for the Fire and Ice. We're gonna jump into some matchups. We got the first game, guys. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing at Atlanta. And again, unless there's an injury or a surprise breaking news, you guys know the players that you're going to start, probably the players you're not. You're obviously starting Evans, Chris Godwin, Baker Mayfield if you have to stream a quarterback. Rachaad White, Bucky Irving.
Bucky?
Yes. I love me some bucktooth Bucky Irving.
Jason was right. I'm sorry.
Good call, Jay. Good call. Falcons side, obviously, depending on the health of Bijan, you're going to start him if he's playing. Drake London, you're going to start. We just talked about Kyle Pitts. You're probably going to start him. As bad as it might look, it's
suck it up and wear it on the chin.
Yeah, you have to. Darnell Mooney, I think, is a worthy flex option. Probably every week, in my personal opinion.
I would start him.
Yeah, I think Mooney's definitely in the flex spot. Ray McCloud, if you play in a PPR league, if you are in a dire need, is flexible. And then Tyler Algeier, if you feel like rolling the dice, or if Bijan is truly hurt. If Bijan's truly hurt.
Listen, guys, Ray McCloud's going to score you more points than Mark Andrews. But all right, guys, let's move on. Let's rifle through some of these. The New York Jets playing at the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings playing out of their freaking mind right now. They just look unbeatable. I know that's not going to happen throughout the entire season. You're starting Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison scored you 2 tutties last week. You're starting Jordan Addison, probably. You're starting Aaron Jones.
I said that last week, just saying.
You did. Let's not gloat, Shane, okay? Don't gloat. Be humble.
Sorry.
Sam Darnold.
Balling.
Yeah. I'm firing him up.
QB4.
Yeah. Dude's unbelievable right now. New York Jets side, this is a little bit sloppier. It's a little bit sloppier. You're obviously going to start Breece Hall, obviously, even with the terrible game he had last week. Garrett Wilson, very underwhelming wide receiver at the moment. This is a guy that we all propped up to finish inside the top 7 wide receivers before the season. He's wide receiver 40 right now.
Yeah, I think it's 40. Yeah, 46.
I think he does have a get right week this week because he did go up against a top 3 or 4 corner in the week.
Yeah,
Patrick Surtain last week.
And it was absolutely downpour rain. Those things come into play. Those things do come into play. But people drafted him. Guys like Justin Jefferson, difference makers, guys that force the way to get open, force the way to catch ball, get targets. To me, he's just
he's not really forcing his way to be a top receiver. He's just like playing in the motions. You're going to start him just because it's Garrett Wilson. You drafted him high unless you have an absolute gob's worth of wide receivers on your roster. But yeah, you just hope and pray. Hopefully he does have a get right week this week, Jay. Is there anybody else from the Jets you like?
I actually don't hate Lazard or Williams if you need to fire somebody up. I will say the Vikings defense thus far has been very gimmicky, very confusing to like younger or less experienced QBs. I think Rodgers could put on a show across the pond.
Let's go, Minnesota.
DC? Their DC is the old head coach of the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, and until you asked that question, I knew the answer.
No, hey, he schemes stuff up to where it is stupid and confusing for quarterbacks. I like what you just said. Ryan Flores. I like what you just said, Shane. I think Rodgers might cook him this week.
Nah, Miami's winning this game. Minnesota's winning this game.
Thank you.
Don't forget this game is in London, like Shane alluded to. This game starts at 8:30. It starts at 8:30 in the morning, so make sure that your stuff is set up and good to go at that point in time. We have the Carolina Panthers playing at Chicago. Another interesting game. DJ Moore looks very disgruntled. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like if you watch the game, he sits at the end of the bench by himself around nobody and just looks like he is pissed at the world.
Which is so funny because Caleb's trying to force feed him the football.
Yeah.
And it's like he half-asses his routes and then goes and pouts. And like I don't understand it.
Because he should have had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, their play calling's been booty cheeks, but that's what you get with Matt Eberflus, right? That's what you would come to expect. The Panthers look good, but this Bears defense is stout. So like, I'm going to try to stay away from almost everybody in this game.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless Jason, you have to start DJ Moore. Unless you have to start DJ Moore.
Or DeAndre Johnson or Drew Hubbard.
Yeah.
Those are the only 3.
Yeah, if you're backed in, like those are guys that you're fine with, but like I'm not starting anybody outside those 3 probably.
Are you not trusting what DeAndre Swift did last week?
Hell no.
No.
Okay.
Although he did finally run north-south, but like hell no.
He did. Okay, let's move on. The Baltimore Ravens playing at Cincinnati Bengals. Division game here. Clear and obvious who you're starting with the Ravens. You're starting Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews,
Justice Hill.
That's a good flex.
I love Justice Hill.
Yeah, that's a good
OSU. Flex. I'm just an OSU lover.
Yeah, we know. Mark Andrews, like we said before, if you have a viable option other than Mark Andrews that you know is guaranteed to get you points, it might not be a bad idea to play him. If you bench Mark Andrews and he goes off and pops off, it's going to make you annoyed.
This Bengals defense.
Yeah, it could make you, in the long run, be happy. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the right play. He has not done anything through 4 weeks. You might have to look at a different option. Cincinnati side, Zach Moss, Chase Brown, they both looked really good. This Ravens team is very, very hard to run against. Do you trust either one of those running backs? You're obviously starting Jamar Chase. You're probably going to start T. Higgins.
Chase Brown is who I would trust out of the Bengals backfield in this matchup. I feel like this game is going to be kind of a shootout.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And it's partially because the Bengals can't stop they're just a block of cheese, man. It's a cheese grater there. And so the Bengals are going to have to put up points. I think because of that, Chase Brown gets more run, and he also looked really explosive against the Panthers, which isn't hard to do, but I think that they had to make some sort of change in that backfield.
Yeah, I like that.
The only thing I really have to say about this game is I think the Bengals are going to play well. It's a division rival. They've seen Lamar so many times. I think Lamar's not going to have the best game this week. It's going to be close. Start your dudes, and I
Andy
wouldn't.
Dalton just put up 26 fantasy points against this Bengals defense, and
I
you're
don't
going to say
care.
Lamar's not going to have a good game.
He won't. I will.
Okay.
Side bet. Side bet.
Bet with you right
Yeah.
Side
Okay.
bet.
Over
now. Okay.
over his
What's the bet?
projection. Over his projected fantasy points. We'll make it easy.
What's his projection?
Probably like
22.
Yeah, probably 22.
Easy. Yeah. No. Under 20.
Oh, under 20. He's giving you 20,
You give
Shane.
me 2 points. Okay, deal. I'm on it.
All right. Side bet locked in. Let's move on then. The Buffalo Bills traveling to Jason's Houston Texans. Jason, I'm going to give you first shot at this. Obviously, you know who you're going to start in the obvious reasons here. Nico, Steph Diggs, Joe Mixon if he's back. You like anybody else, Jason, on your Texans? You like Dalton Schultz here?
No, just because of what happened last week with the Bills and them covering and going after Mark Andrews. I do like the Texans to win this football game, or it be close. It might come down to a game-winning field goal by the Bills. I do like Tank Dell in this game.
Is he good to go?
I'm starting up Tank Dell.
Okay.
He is supposedly going to play.
Okay.
Yes,
so
he's
Jason
supposedly going
is
to
right.
play. If he plays, I'm firing him up.
Okay.
Bill's
Shane, who do you
side-
like on the
Go ahead.
Bill's side,
Yeah,
Khalil
go.
Shakir if he plays. Other than that, Stingley's going to lock up whoever is technically the wide receiver one. So like that's the unfortunate thing for the Bills, but they have such like a mesh together, like just thrown together unit that it could be anybody on any given week.
Right.
But anybody except for Keon Coleman.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that take. Next game, guys, we have the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Jacksonville to play the the in trouble Jaguars.
Well, they are winless. You were right.
Yeah, winless.
The only
in
winless
trouble.
team.
Yeah. Except for this week. I think they get their first dub this week. I called it.
I have your spicy pick ready.
Okay,
Tank
what do you got,
Bigsby.
Shane?
Tank Bigsby.
I like that actually.
Etienne has looked almost pedestrian in the backfield.
Yeah.
They need to make some changes. I think that they split this backfield down the middle this week and let Bigsby eat against what is a god-awful run defense for the Colts.
Jason?
He should have had a TD last week.
Caught at the 5.
If it weren't for a hustle play by our DB, then we would have lost that game. I hope Joe Flacco starts because Pittman will have the game of his year.
Ooh. Well, let's just assume that Anthony Richardson plays this week. If he plays, are you sitting most of the wide receivers
Except for Josh Downs.
except for
Yes.
Josh Downs?
100%.
And if Flacco plays, are you firing up all the wide receivers?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Except for Alec Pierce. Like
Yeah,
I would
except
fire up
for
the 2. It's the opposite. Like if AR plays, you fire up the guy that takes a deep shot and then Downs, and then I guess Downs
Right.
is the one consistent piece. Like, yeah, it's either Pitty or Pierce, whichever one you want to decide.
Love it. Miami Dolphins traveling to Foxborough to play the New England Patriots.
Puke. Next,
Yeah. Do you guys want to skip this game?
Ramondre, and that's it.
Yeah, that's
The one point I want to make real quick is if you have a starting quarterback that you sign that is injury prone, you better sign a backup quarterback that is
That's
at
competent.
least halfway decent.
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
playing any Dolphins. I'm not playing any Dolphins this week.
Move on.
All right. Next game, we have the Cleveland Browns traveling to the Washington Commanders. My lock of the week for the Commanders. Jaden Daniels, fire him up all day, day. Brian Robinson Jr., fire him up. Terry McLaurin, fire him up. The Commanders look good. They do. They look really, really good. I'm willing to play most of all their players. As far as the Brown side goes, Who do you like over here? I know Amari Cooper played well, and if he didn't have that like 82-yard touchdown called back on a BS holding call, things would have been a little different. You're going to fire up Amari Cooper, but do you like?
I like Jerome Ford
this week.
Yeah, I like
Jerome
Ford this week. Nick Chubb's not back yet, so they're going to lean on that run game, and he was certifiably the back last week. Especially if you're in PPR format, he caught 6 balls and had like 80 something yards in total offense. Deshaun looked competent last week, like despite the fact that their O-line can't block.
Yeah,
like they're still down 3 starting offensive linemen, so like they're
5
still
now.
Good. 5 now? Oh,
yeah. I thought I saw 5. I thought it was all their linemen are on injury report.
Yeah. Well, either way, the Commanders' defense is bad. They played better, but they're still bad, and
they are still a bad unit.
I'll take the 2 key pieces and run.
Yeah.
Jason,
no, I agree. It's Ford and Cooper. I think the only chance that the Browns have to win this game is if they slow the game down and run the football.
Alrighty. Next game, Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Denver to play the Broncos, the Sean Payton-led Broncos. Bo Nix, baby. Yeah, who do you like in this game?
Jacoby Myers. Just kidding, because he's going to get shadowed by Patrick Surtain.
Is Brock Bowers?
Yeah, I was going to say Bowers and actually Alexander Madison, mostly because the Broncos tend to struggle against pass catching backs, and Madison's secured that role. So like,
and Pierce did say he wants to get him the ball more.
Well, yeah, when Zamir White gets 19 carries and gets 50 yards and fumbles the football, he probably shouldn't play football anymore.
Man, my inside the top 12 is not looking good for Zamir White.
Me and you both.
Yeah.
It hurts.
The Broncos side, I don't want to start any of their backs. It's a muddy backfield. I don't
Davante
know.
actually balled out last week, though. Like
he did look better. He did look better.
He did look. Wait, so you're not starting Bo Nix after 60 yards?
No, 63 yards, Jason. 60.
You said 60 yards.
Well, he had 60 yards passing, but he had 3 yards rushing.
It's 3 yards. What's the difference? Yeah.
Hey,
no,
that's
I'm not.
That's 0.3 fantasy points instead of 0 fantasy points.
That is true. And the people that lost by 0.3 are probably, or by 0.2 are probably cursing me out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Arizona Cardinals traveling to San Francisco to play the 49ers. The old 49ers. Shane and Jason have a different opinion on Brock Purdy. I'm starting Brock Purdy. As far as the 49ers go, Jordan Mason, you kind of have to watch the injury report because you just don't know with George Kittle, Deebo Samuel. I know Brandon Ayuk has not played well. I'm still going to fire him up. He has got to have a get-right week. They paid him a lot of money. I do think it comes this week against the Arizona defense that does not look very good. So as far as the 49ers go, watch the injury report, fire up Mason, Brandon Ayuk, and I'm starting Brock Purdy.
I can't stamp Brandon Ayuk because I stamped him last week, and he done it for me. So
it's my turn.
My fantasy shares hope that you're right. Yeah, you're starting all the regular guys if they're available, and there's no one else. That Michael Wilson baited into obscurity last week, despite the fact that Trey McBride wasn't playing. So,
and keep your eyes out. He should be back this week, right?
Yeah, he's trending in the right direction.
Okay, all right. Arizona players play the norm. Next game, Green Bay Packers playing the Los Angeles Rams this week. Green Bay Packers side, dude. Dontavian Wicks. I think it's a worthy flex option. Jaden Reed, fire him up because that dude balls out. Josh Jacobs, Tucker Kraft, like Shane said a little earlier.
Mm-hmm. Tucker Kraft definitely should be added in every fantasy league this week, and Romeo Doubs should not be slept on because he's still Jordan Love's favorite. He's his favorite guy. He didn't get the volume you would hope last week, but like he still produced 8 fantasy points, and he's the guy that is Jordan Love's apparently go-to guy. So like with Christian Watson out, fire up Doubs, and he's probably going to catch a touchdown pass against this depleted Rams unit.
Right. And to be honest with you, unfortunately, well, it's not really unfortunately, like Shane just said, those the Packer wide receivers are going to get you points no matter what. You hope that they get into the end zone, but Jordan Love spreads the ball out to so many different people. They almost need to have that touchdown to get you over in those double-digit points, but they're guaranteed fantasy points. Guaranteed fantasy points. So if you need somebody this week with the bye week, they're going to fire some of them up. And I didn't mention it. The bye week this week is the Eagles, the Chargers, the Lions, and the Titans. So you don't have those guys that you would normally fire up. Jason, do you have anything to add on the Rams? How about you say Rams? Who do you like?
Jordan Whittington.
Kyron's the only person I like this week for the Rams.
Whittington finally got a full plethora of snaps and actually did well. So if you need a flex play, I would fire up Whittington. But
I think it's if you're desperate, then
like,
you go for a Rams guy.
Kyron is the guarantee.
Yeah.
Packers defense.
Yep. If you play in defensive leagues, get them.
They have 8 turnovers. It's insane.
Yeah, they did. Next game, the New York Giants at the Seattle Seahawks. DK Metcalf is my dude. Early season, I called it, man. Everybody's down. Everybody's wide receiver 23. Get the hell out of here. He finishes higher than that every year. Give me DK Metcalf all day. Geno Smith.
He should finish higher based on the Greek god he looks like.
Dude, he's going to finish higher anyway. DK Metcalf, JSN, I'm willing to fire up. Geno Smith, Kenneth Walker. Wowzers.
Are you firing up Noah Fant over Mark Andrews this week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but yes. It's not a player that I'm going to be super high to. If there's a Tucker Kraft or somebody like that out there, I'd rather have them because Noah Fant only sees a few targets per week. So you really have to hope that. Well, yeah, it's true.
Jason, you almost have more targets than
I could have caught the football that Mark Andrews dropped last week.
Yeah. The New York Giants side, keep your eyes out on Neighbors. Obviously, you're going to fire him up if he's playing. Devin Singletary, you're fired. Yeah, you're firing up Singletary.
TD this
Seahawks
week.
actually struggle against the run, but that's a fun fact.
Yeah. Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yes,
1,000%. He gets a lot of targets. Yes, he looks weird. He doesn't break tackles very well, but he gets you fantasy points. Guaranteed points. We just talked about it. Is there anybody else from the Giants side you like?
Nope.
All right. Nope. Let's move on then. Next game, we got 2 games left. The Dallas Cowboys playing at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers have a little bit of a letdown.
Just kidding.
Huh?
Undefeated. Oh, just kidding.
Shane?
Sorry.
You guys don't need to be taking shots at me all day. Okay. I told you they ain't going to win it. They ain't going to go undefeated. Dallas does not look that great right now. Pittsburgh had a very bad letdown game and let the Colts score a ton of points on them, which is from the first 3 weeks uncharacteristic from that defense. They're playing at home. Think it's a good bounce back game for them. As far as the Steelers go, Najee Harris played like absolute dog water. Cordero Patterson looked strong as ever. I'm still, especially if Micah Parsons and Lawrence is out, I'm still starting Najee Harris all day.
They are going to be out.
Okay, they are going to be out. So Najee Harris, do you like George Pickens this week, guys?
Yeah, he's the only target. That's it. It's him and Pat Freiermuth. Yeah, it's it's him and Freiermuth, and that's the entire pass offense for Pittsburgh. Okay. So yeah,
Najee, would you stream Fields this week with just his rushing upside?
Yeah, especially against the Cowboys defense that's very susceptible to gaps. We saw them absolutely get gashed by the Ravens.
Okay. Who do you like from the Dallas side? Minus CD. You obviously you're starting CD.
Rico. He's going to be the pass catcher, and they can't run the football.
Colbert?
So I don't like a ton of pass. I don't like either of them this week because
so you're going Ferguson. Ferguson's the
guy.
Yeah.
I think Fergie. I think they line CD up in the slot to get favorable matchups, and
I think it's Ferguson and CD.
Okay, and Dowdle.
Yeah, and Dowdle. Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right. Last game, guys. The New Orleans Saints versus Shane's Kansas City Chiefs. Shane's shaking his boots right now. He just put his look at him. Look at Shane. He's leaned back from the mic. He's nervous about this game. Jason? Nervous.
It's weird because they should have lost like 2 or 3 games already this season, but they find a way. They find a way. No, I'll give it to them.
Did you know? Shane, actually, Jason, look this up for me real quick.
Yeah.
Tell me the last time Patrick Mahomes had over 20 fantasy points. But Shane, while Jason looks that up, who do you like here in this matchup?
Kareem Hunt.
Start off with your Chiefs.
Kareem Hunt. The last time Patrick had over 20 fantasy points was Vegas week 12 of last year.
Yeah. Isn't that scary? Isn't that nuts?
Yeah. Kareem Hunt for the Chiefs. Travis Kelce is a fire. Xavier Worthy, fire. I don't know who else. Like it's just on the dark. It's Juju or Watson.
It's tough to think about. I mean, obviously, like Jason said, the Chiefs always find a way to win. Patrick Mahomes always finds a way to win. But yeah, it's tough in the streets right now.
I do love your Kareem Hunt take.
Oh yeah, you got to. I think he's going to get all the bulk of the. I think he's going to be the bulk running back from going forward, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, you don't fumble twice in 2 games with Andy Reid and see the football field ever again.
Yeah. No. Jason, who do you like for the Saints?
Tomorrow?
I actually think the Chiefs defense is going to have a really good game this week.
I know. I think they match up so well versus them, especially like I would say Taysom Hill, but Taysom Hill is on the injury report.
Yeah, I doubt he plays.
Yeah, and I doubt he plays. That's the only guy I really actually do like with this matchup. Other than that, you got to hope for a deep ball from Shaheed, but that Chiefs defense is playing so well right now. I don't think Carr is a streaming option this week.
Okay. Shane, do you have any opinions on that? Do you like any of the Saints minus Kamara and
Rashid Shaheed? If you're really feeling it, that would be about the only play I would feel comfortable with. I mean, Olave aside from that, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree with both you guys there on both sides. All right, that's going to wrap up our fantasy episode, guys. Remember, if you have any questions, just shoot us a message. You can shoot a comment down in the YouTube channel over on Fantasy Six Pack. Make sure you guys give that a subscribe, give it a thumbs up. We're here to help you guys as best as we possibly can. If you guys want to hear anything else, let us know. Write a comment. If you want to hear another segment, a different segment, just let us know. We will do our best to accommodate that. Remember, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, that's the audio side of things. Give us a follow over there. 5-star review. It does help out the show a lot. Check us out on Twitter. We'll try to update you guys. Remember to head over to fantasy6pack.net, become an all-access member. You will be able to join our Discord. Yeah, look at the bar or the deal that's going at the
Parlay FF.
Parlay FF. And remember, guys, use the code Parlay if you are going to become an all-access member. Give you 15% off. Then you have access to the Discord, and we can answer so much more questions over there. So, that being said, that's going to wrap up tonight's episode. You guys know what to do.
Darnell Mooney is a smash.
Y'all, let's pray that Mark Andrews gets some targets this week.
We love you all to the moon and back. Until next episode, peace out.